Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Just Gaming Today. Today we're going to play some more Infinitode 2. I think we're trying for 4.7. Let's go down here and take a look. Yes. So we just completed 4.6. Got the 3 gold stars. Let's look at 4.7. So 4.7 looks like we need to get to level 73 for that 3rd gold star, 54 for number 2, 36 for number 1. Very good mining node. You see here you've got full green, 2 full blue, 2 full purple, 1 full gold, and 1 full teal. So this map is one you're going to revisit quite often. This map, if I remember right, is fairly challenging. It is meandering, but there are different teleporters around, I believe. We'll have to take a closer look at it. There are a awful lot of platform upgrades here. So you definitely want to look at where you're placing your towers once we get in there. Playtime and score gained are the quests that start us out. Hopefully we get to 73 and get this 3rd gold star. Enemies, we have basic, helis, icy. I think we've encountered these guys yet, so they'll introduce themselves in 4.7. I don't think they're a flyer. I think they're another type of basic that's been altered a little bit. Toxic, which is very difficult enemies. These are probably one of the toughest enemies we've encountered so far. And then weak. So no strong, no armored, no healers. So those are enemies that we've been facing up to the, in large amounts in the previous maps. So a little bit of change of pace here with the flyers. So the flyers, we need multi shots. We need the miniguns. Those are going to play quite a role. But let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and get all of our abilities back. We use Blizzard quite a lot. That Blizzard's probably my favorite ability to use because it has an immediate effect. It has an effect that lingers, and it just helps to also, when you get to certain points in the game where there's these longer maps, the towers in the very beginning get lots of experience points. The towers at the end don't. So being able to cause a blizzard and having enemies kind of stack up where the towers don't have experience points yet, it allows them to kill enemies and gain some experience and get those experience levels up so they're overall better towers. So I kind of use the blizzard a number of ways to stop from taking damage, to get towers to level up, to lay down ice blocks, just overall slow everything down. In my opinion, this is one of the best abilities. I really do like it. The other abilities are very good as well. So you can find uses for all of these abilities. This is the one I really, really like. But that's my play style. So I also like the gas cloud just for enemies passing through. They take a lot of damage, and the fireball just to blow a bunch of stuff up. So I'll use all of these with no issues. I'm not. This 5th slot is where the 6th slot is where is my ability where I'm like, but all these other ones I'm very happy with. These are typically the 5 abilities I end up playing with, because of their costing, what they do, their overall impact. Very, very good. So let's go ahead and click play and take a look at this guy. Oh boy. Yeah, so this is a big map. So we got a big map here. We've got some things being blocked here. So you can see that heli, jets, and toxics can't go this way. But where they can go is over through here. So they have a little bit of a different pathing. And then I think that's our really only blocker. Yeah. So helis are going to go through here. So helis and jets and toxics are going through here. So this area here, you want to kind of load up on your anti-air. And hopefully, the anti-air that's really good against toxics are the multi-shot. So the multi-shots do 150% damage against toxics. But we'll take a look at that as well. So let's see. There's a lot here to cover. You see lots of mine nodes. There's an awful lot to cover here. So rotations, cells. Rotations I'm not too worried about, so I might actually don't feel bad about maybe throwing a freeze on one of those. But let's take a look, see what we can cover with these. Yeah. I actually don't mind using the freeze tower here. The rotation, is a good platform ability, but it's not fantastic. It's probably one of the lower ones. So I'm willing to sacrifice that to just make sure that I get, the freezing areas that I want. I'm probably going to put a freeze here too, so we can get to this whole section being frozen, and also cover out this last section. I'm not going to put it in quite yet. So let's take a look at what does really well. So this is projectile speed. Projectile speed, I think I'm going to put a multi-shot tower here. You can see the multi-shot is good against basics, which we have. It's good against weaks, which are coming. It's pretty decent against the helis. It does nothing against the ices, but it's not nothing. It does 50% against the ices, and then the new one it does 100%, and then the toxic it does 100. So all of these are very, very good. What was the one that does 150% against the toxics? Let's take a look at this. Arc. Oh, it was Splash. Okay. And Splash does really well against everything here, right? Except for the basics. So weak, heli, icy. So not great against those. But the toxics and this new blue one, it does 150%. So I think Splash Towers, miniguns, Yeah, I'm not sure miniguns the play here other than to take out some of the flyers. Basics. Snipers. Now cannons are effective against these new blue ones, and they're not half bad against the toxics and the basics. So we'll have to do kind of a splash here. I don't like these blasts at all. This is probably one of my least favorite towers. The venom, good against the stuff on the ground, not too bad. In the arc, Tesla tower, not terrible. It's what's going to kill a lot of the ices off. So we do need quite a selection of towers here. I think I am going to put down a Tesla somewhere, but let's see what we want here. So we got some basic greens. I'm just going to go ahead and put a basic tower out for now. And then here, it's a lot of damage. So these two in the middle are going to be pretty important. So what I think I'm going to do is put a Tesla here and here, and maybe a multi-shot here. The multi-shot with bigger range is not as quite as good as you would think, because the arc on them gets so far out that it they don't end up hitting a lot of stuff. So this is going to be useful maybe more for a Tesla tower. Let's throw the Tesla here just for simply because it's going to end up covering the whole map, and it is quite a good tower. So we have 30 points. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the basic tower a little bit and let's get this started here. Okay. Now our goal here is not going to be to mine a lot of stuff, and there's so many platform spots to use up. I don't know what to do with them all. So as far as rotation's concerned, I am going to go ahead and throw a venom down, and then we've got a cell up here. I'm going to put a basic in because we'll probably end up selling those. As far as new ones, so flyers and the new ones, I'm going to go ahead and put a minigun in here too. And mostly just to start, keep us from looking at the flyers. The flyers will come eventually, and they're going to cause us some issues. So here, said I wanted to look to put a freeze tower in there. This freeze tower covers that. Probably a freeze tower here. Yeah. Let's throw that in. I like laying down a freeze map just so I have an understanding of how exactly I'm going to cover the whole areas. I might put one in the middle here too. Let's look to put some more towers in here. Now we've got a tower that is like a finishing tower. I'm going to do splash, splash, splash there too. Look to put a venom here. And I don't know that these are necessarily the best places to put all these things. So icy ground. So it's still called icy, but now it's a ground unit. So it cannot be stunned or slowed, has a shield that can be broken with bullets. So here we're definitely going to want to put more of the multi-shot out. So we're able to kind of take care of these. I want this on the speed. Go ahead and do this. Probably going to do one there too. Now here is strength. I'm going to put a Tesla in here. So we need to definitely hit things with shields. We also need to hit things with, go ahead and through. I'm going to have some overlapping frozen zones here, and that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. I'll try and grow that a little bit. Okay, hold on. That's not good. Okay, so there's a lot that came through here. It wasn't very effective fire for those ices, and that's okay. We just gotta, you know, keep a hold on that. We have abilities that we can use. Let's see, rotation here. I'm gonna go ahead and put a minigun down here and look if we can use that to take some things out. And then this is the flyers. I'm gonna put another one here. I'm going to put a minigun here again. See if we could be a little assassin there. Here, I'm going to put a splash. I'm going to go back and start with some freezing. Okay, the reason they're going so, oh, it lets them through. Oh boy, I did the wrong thing here. Hold on. Blocks certain, oh, it blocks the, it doesn't block the ground-based ices. That's okay. Okay with that. Let's go back and do the abilities here. I was like, it blocks certain ones, not let them through, but I saw the, I'm going to do buckshot here. And I'm going to go ahead and look at where all the projectiles are. I'm going to go ahead and lace some of these in at the moment. This is a particularly good spot here, so I'm going to go ahead and start upgrading these if I can. So our freeze zones are pretty good. I think maybe another freezing here or here. Let's do there because as it grows, it's going to basically, you know, get to the point where it's going to cover most everything. If I put another one here, it's going to block this. And then we have some towers laid out. We'll go back and look at what we want to do here. Here, I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and try one of these modules here. So attack speed and damage. Let's do a damage one here. Let's do an attack speed here. I don't use these that often, so I don't know. Let's do a damage here. So let's pump up the damage and attack speed on these. It's also going to work on these other towers that are off to the sides. Let's throw maybe a minigun here and look to do some flying takeouts. Here, I'm going to do a splash. And here, let's do a splash. Splash seems to be pretty good on this map. Now these guys are getting pretty far, but let's see how they end up doing once they get over here. So I think those new ices are really going to be problematic. Let's take a look at that again. So over here, the ices take 150. So I'm going to lace in some more splashes here and see if they can help us do some damage. I'm going to go ahead and throw in another one of these modifiers. Let's throw a damage modifier in. I don't really know how good or bad that is, but we're going to do it. Now, the one thing I do want to do is put in my final freeze zone there. And then this one, let's throw in a, whoops. Let's throw in another minigun. Actually, I'm going to keep that just on forward. Let's do splash down here. Splash here. Okay, we have every single spot done now, right? So all the platform spots look to be complete. Let's look at our upgrades. Sorry, I'm losing my mouse here in all these bullets. Good grief, here it is. Let's do this one. Upgrade this. Now let's look at what we have going on up here. We do have some towers up here that are leveled up pretty decent as far as experience points go. So let's go ahead and throw some, minor upgrades into them. These splashes are going to be some of the towers we need to really build up. I do want to build these ones in the middle up too, just simply because they're on super powerful platforms. Those platform upgrades are the fourth tier. When you see all these little arrows around them, the fourth tier really offers quite a bit of an upgrade to the tower. Let's go 185 here. We've got one of the stars. This will be the second gold star if we can get through this one. No more upgrades over here. Okay, now I'm just looking to get everything upgraded at least once. And this may not be the best way to do all this. So don't get me wrong here. Like, I'm sure this is kind of a mistake and maybe this isn't the way you should do this, but I like having lots of towers. It's just how I am. I usually don't even use these modules, but I figured we've got all these spaces. Let's give it a shot and see if we can ourselves out there. Oh, we have one thing left here. I'm going to put in, what do I want there? I'm going to put in a toxic. We don't have a toxic, or sorry, a venom tower anywhere near there. And just get some poisons going. I'm going to throw this up to level 2. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and go back and look at increasing. I'm going to increase this one a few times. Another one there too. Let's do, I don't have a Tesla up here, so let's do that. This one's upgraded as well. Now this one I'm going to pump a little bit of extra into. All right, let's bring this back down. We have a couple of abilities to place here. This one here, we've got some abilities under icy. Let's pump this up once and do that. All right, so I think everything's pretty much level 1 now, at least. We have the 2 platforms that were kind of hiding out over here from me. I'll look to put some points into these guys again. Speed this up a little bit again. These middle towers get a lot of use, so I'm going to over level them. Speed it up again until we get some more abilities triggered. Okay, so those are all level 4. Let's look to level up the towers that are around our little modules here and see if those help us out. Got an ability there. Come on, mouse. Sorry, my eyes do not track that mouse during, or the mouse pointer during all of those bullets. Well, these guys are certainly the problem. So that being the case, what is the best tower to solve that problem? It's really the splashes, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to keep pumping these splashes up and see if we can get them all to level 2. So when the ices come by, they're actually taking a decent amount of damage. That one's, I'm going to pump these guys up a little more. Actually, let's do this real quick so we don't get in trouble with the toxics as well. Okay, let's do this. Because those toxic enemies take a lot of damage from these towers, and so do the ices. They're 100%. So now that I've pumped up the buckshot, I'm going to do buckshot on those. This one. I'm going to try and freeze some things there. Let's freeze. Let's make a pass on the freezing. Oh, wait. I'm going to go ahead and sell this. I want a freeze tower here. I know it doesn't help against those icy things, but it is going to help us overall with the towers that we have going here. Let's do a couple of upgrades here and see if we can get these basics. So we're doing a little bit of work. A lot going on with this map. Awful lot. So these venoms or these toxics are getting pretty far. I'm going to upgrade that. That's got a lot of extra. So this is level 4 here. It does 70 damage versus 55. So those towers are doing quite a bit of work there. I think I'm going to see if I can upgrade this even more. Freeze. So that's our first freeze we've had to use. I'm going to slow it down a second. We're going to look to do some upgrades here wherever we got some abilities. All these level 1 towers really do need to get to level 2, honestly. Level 1 is just not going to cut it anymore. I think everything's level 2 now at least. I wouldn't mind trying to close this gap a little bit if we can. So we got some icy flyers coming. So getting these towers upgraded down here a little bit did help us quite a bit there. I don't see any abilities that are now this mix of icy and the toxics here is going to be pretty rough. I'm going to go ahead and freeze them here. We're putting down some more blocks, getting some things frozen, but you see these guys are just keep going here. I'm going to go and level up some of these splashes if we can. I'm going to throw a fireball down here. Probably a fireball in here too if I can. Good grief, hold. I can barely see through all of that. So you see the fireball is quite effective. Okay, we got an upgrade here, which is very good. Got an upgrade here too. I'm going to go ahead and put some points into that one as well. I would love to get this one and this one upgraded. Not too bad. We still have 5 ability points left. I'm not unhappy with how that turned out, given the state we're in. This big grouping of weeks should be okay, I think. I'm just going to let it run. Yeah, okay, good. So these splashes, getting all these upgraded is going to be good as well. They're going to do damage against the toxics. It's 150% against toxics, but they don't seem to do a lot. I'm going to freeze this here. Put some blocks down. Man, those guys getting regens just really is tough. I'm going to go ahead and use another fireball. Do this. We're going to have to do another big deal here. Oh boy. Yeah, those toxics are just getting way too strong for what I have built up at the moment. The weeks I seem to be able to get through. Right, I'm going to slow things way down here just for a minute as I do some upgrades here. Do attack speed. Don't see any upgrades here that I need. That one's doing 69 versus 89. I'm going to upgrade this one first. And I wouldn't mind upgrading some of these smaller towers here. Yeah, it's just too much here. I'm going to freeze things. This is a good part of the wave to do the freeze. Everything's kind of stretched out. There was a bunch of stuff that was going to do damage to us, and it's allowing some of our towers that are at the end here to get some upgrades, and getting them upgraded and experience point wise. Now this right here is going to be a problem. Look at all of those guys. There's 0% chance that I make it through those. I think be very, very difficult. We're going to do some upgrades here. I'm going to keep things kind of slow. Man, I was hoping these guys would all be worked, which they were. Okay. I'm going to do attack speed there. Oh man, 2 of these. Oh, it's not going to work out very well. There's not going to be a lot for us to upgrade here. Maybe this splash will help us a little bit. I am going to freeze this and see. There's just ridiculous amounts of hit points at this point. Yeah, these toxics are, like I was saying at the very beginning, before we even saw anything on the map, the toxics are just really, really difficult to get through. They have so much hit points and they just do so much regenerating. It's just very, very difficult to get through. But we got our 3 gold stars. That was the aim. We got pretty far into that map, and things will get better as you do the research tree more. But 92 on that map, I feel is quite good. So that was level 4.7. Notice this too. I haven't mentioned this before. Normal. I think I might have mentioned it the very first time we run the game. In addition to just running the maps like this, you can run the maps on different modes. Yeah. So you complete the storyline to unlock this, and you see you get a lot of bonuses, but the enemies get a lot harder. So, and you can run things on easy. So if you get a certain map and things are really, really difficult, you can kind of still progress through it a little bit, but it's you don't get as much rewards. Okay. So that was level 4.7. We did not unlock a 5.1 with that. We really need 5.1 opened, I think, is what the research says. Let's go back here again. Opened 5.1. So I think I need to run 4.8. Right, so 4.8. This bonus level will never be used to unlock something. So we need 2 stars on 4.8, and then we unlock, and we also get, I think this is the missile launcher. The missile launcher is a pretty good tower. It's very different. You have these missiles that are flying around and homing in on stuff. The flamethrower, obviously you're throwing flame everywhere. It's pretty cool. And then the laser has a very unique way of attacking as well. So all these are very unique additives to your towers, and they're very, very cool to have in the mix. And also you're going to need them for certain types of enemies. As you see, different enemies take different damage from different towers. So you can imagine, I can imagine, I don't remember the flamethrower exactly what it does, but it's probably good against all the icy ones, I would imagine. It's launching flames and stuff down, so it's probably pretty good. So we'll get into 4.8 next and try and get through that and get 5.1 opened so we can progress the research tree even farther and farther. I think 5.1, then we're just looking for some mining. We had to get some ores done there. More ores for a damage bonus. Starting money. That's a really, really good node right here. The synthetic brain one. And then LSTM networks, core XP generation speed. And then this one, developer mode. I don't remember. So it counts your entire playing time. So you can't open this until you have like 400 something hours in playtime. But you can see I've invested quite a bit of time just getting to this point here. The one last thing I wanted to do here was kind of figure out where are we going to spend these gold stars. This is very important to figure out where we want to aim for. So this node here is really, really good. I was looking at that earlier. So installation time, enemy speed. Slowing down enemy speed's quite good too. And then mining speed. This is stun chance, stun duration. That's explosive piercing. Max bounty, upgrade price. So here we've got attack speed for 3, attack speed for 3, and then upgrade price. That seems like a really good 3 bonus. And up here we've got mining speed, XP, and power. Yeah, this seems like a pretty good use of 6 points here. I'm going to do attack speed on these. Yeah, just getting 6% more attack speed overall is really, really good. So we'll do that. We'll look at getting 4.8 done here next and see if we can progress further up the research tree. I have been saving up some of my, ores and dollars, just see if we can progress that tree a little bit and, keep things rolling here. If you have any questions or you're stuck on a certain level, let me know. I'll try and help. You might be farther along on the levels than I am. As I get to them, I can help you address them, and hopefully, I can get through them. But my suggestion: anytime you're stuck on a level, you can usually take the easy mode and make it easier. What I tend to do is just go back and rerun the older levels and try and complete those quests, get more ore, get more money, and invest more in the research tree. And you'll notice that the levels get easier as your towers get more powerful. Um, Beyond that, if you need any tips or you're interested in learning anything about the game, let me know. If I don't know it, I'll figure it out and let you know what the answer is. Um, Take care, everybody. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing in the game. Take care.